To pursue my interest in teaching, my junior year of high school, I was in a teacher education class that helped us gain classroom experience. 3 times a week, I would go to a 3rd grade classroom to assist a teacher, as well as develop and teach my own lesson plans. This wasn't my first lesson I would be teaching students. My first few didn't turn out too shabby. For this one, I wanted to teach children the simple distinction between synonyms and antonyms. I distinguished what a synonym was and what an antonym was to students. Then, they would get a worksheet with a word in one column and that word's corresponding synonym or antonym in another column. Students would simply draw a line from one word to another to show their connection. For example, if in the left column the word was soft, they would draw a line to the right to link it to its antonym, hard. If in the left column the word was mad, they would draw a line to the right to link it to its synonym, upset. Students could raise their hands to ask me questions at any time, since I expected a few. I passed it out and they got to work. A hand rose. At least 2 other hands were up by the time I got to the initial hand raiser. Concerning, but I put it out of my mind to reiterate what synonyms and antonyms were. The boy said he understood. A girl tugged on my arm. She asked, "What do we do?" I reiterated how to do the worksheet and sent her off. Others approached with questions following the girl's example. I made my way to some kids who had their hands up as 3 around me asked, "How does this work?" I explained synonyms and antonyms in the worksheet to the children around me and to those who raised their hands. Making my way to another child with a hand in the air, 2 more had questions. Then 2 more. Then it was a blur. For the next 10 minutes, that felt like 20, I always had at least 3 kids around me, worksheet in hand, asking for an explanation. I would try to explain to them as well as the kids with their hands up. Children asked if they were doing it right. They weren't. Some had multiple questions. I felt like a failure as I just gave them the answers, hoping they would see the pattern and understand. Finally, I just pulled the plug and told the kids to give their worksheets to me. The results were disheartening. Out of 20 questions, a few got less than half right, more got around half right, and some got a little more than half right. Only one particularly bright student matched all of them correctly. Walking in shame out of the elementary school, I reflected on how poorly I did. It was obvious how I could have done better. Shown examples, made a collaborative effort of it, just do synonyms or just antonyms so they didn't get mixed up. I could have and should have been prepared for a potential catastrophe like what had just occurred. That day, I learned more than those kids did. Be thorough, prepare for the worst, and don't overestimate your abilities. From then on, when creating and presenting lessons, I made sure I was thorough for both of our sakes, and to this day, I think all my lessons have been a lot better than that lesson. I'd like to say I've learned from this mistake, and I'm a better teacher for it. Just as important, learning from my past mistakes helps my students. My lessons are a lot more educational and a lot more fun for future classes.